Jenna bought a pair of sneakers for $160 using Afterpay. 4 payments of $40 each, spread over 6 weeks. No interest, no credit check, no pain. She made the first payment automatically when she checked out. The shoes arrived 3 days later. She wore them that weekend. The second payment hit 2 weeks later and she barely noticed. The third payment came out on schedule. Then she missed the fourth payment because she forgot to transfer money into her checking account and her balance was $12 short. Afterpay charged her a $10 late fee. She paid the final $40 plus the late fee the next day, bringing her total to $170 for shoes that cost $160. That late fee was a 6.25% penalty on the final payment, which annualizes to over 300% if you think of it as interest on a 2-week loan. But she does not think of it that way. She thinks she got sneakers for $40 and then had a small oops moment that cost her $10. She does not connect that the $10 fee made her effective price 31% higher than if she had just saved for 6 weeks and bought the shoes with cash. And here's the part that actually matters. Jenna has used Buy Now, Pay Later 14 times in the last 8 months. She has paid $67 in late fees across those purchases. She has spent $2,300 on things she would not have bought if she had paid the full price up front. Her credit card has a 19% APR that she avoids using because it feels expensive. She just paid the equivalent of 29% in fees and overspending, and she thinks she is being financially responsible because she is not using credit cards. My name is Bobby, and I spent way too much time thinking about why Buy Now, Pay Later services are the fastest growing financial trap in consumer spending. If you use Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, or any split payment app, if you have ever told yourself it's only 4 payments, so it's basically free, what I'm about to show you is not about whether installment payments are evil. This is about how BNPL services exploit your brain's inability to feel future pain, trick you into spending more than you can afford, and then hit you with fees that make credit cards look cheap, all while convincing you that you are avoiding debt. I call it the Buy Now, Pay Later trap, and it is creating a generation of people who think they're budgeting while actually funding a new subprime crisis. Here is the belief that is destroying your spending discipline. Buy Now, Pay Later is not debt because there is no interest. You think that splitting a purchase into 4 installments with 0% financing is just smart budgeting, that it helps you afford things you need without paying credit card interest, that it's a responsible alternative to high-interest borrowing. That's the story Klarna and Afterpay and Affirm sell you in every ad, and it is technically true and functionally a lie. Yes, there is no interest if you pay on time, but the entire business model is built on 2 mechanisms that extract more money from you than interest ever would: psychological manipulation that makes you spend more, and late fees that punish the inevitable missed payments. A 2023 study from the Consumer Financial Bureau found that 43% of BNPL users missed at least 1 payment in the prior 12 months. 43%. That's not a small subset of irresponsible users. That's almost half of everyone using the service. And when you miss a payment, the fees are brutal. Afterpay charges up to 25% of the purchase price in late fees, capped at $68. Klarna charges up to $25 per missed payment. Affirm does not charge late fees, but they report you to credit bureaus, which destroys your score. The 0% interest is the bait. The late fees and overspending are the trap. Jenna paid $67 in late fees this year. That's $67 she would not have paid if she had used a credit card and paid it off within a billing cycle. She avoided 19% interest and paid the equivalent of 29% in penalty fees and impulse purchases she would not have made without the psychological lubricant of installment payments. Look, the spending increase from BNPM is not accidental, it's engineered. Research from the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City found that consumers using BNPL services spend 10 to 40% more per transaction than they would if paying in full at checkout. The range depends on the category. Fashion and electronics see the highest spending increases. But even at the low end, 10% more spending means Jenna's $2,300 in BNPL purchases this year would have been maybe $2,090 if she had paid cash. She spent $210 extra just because the payment structure made her brain think she could afford more. And this is not because Jenna is financially illiterate. This is basic psychology.